was trying to forgive you, staying sober, feeling numb, seeing you in empty spaces, silent screaming that you're gone.
Instagram, we live, baby. Welcome WES to Instagram Live. We appreciate you joining us today. Go ahead and pop over to the Podbean app for me. Our topic of the day is going to be fire. Welcome William and Aisha to the live studio. We do appreciate you joining us today. Welcome, Emmy J. What's going on?
Hey. You can't hear me? I'm lighting up. Oh. Now you can hear me.
Yeah, we got you clear, Emmy J. It's a little echo there, though. Jump on the mic.
Working on mine.
And we'll be getting started in just a couple moments, ladies and gentlemen. Do me a favor, go ahead and hit that share button and let everyone know Honors Radio is live.
I lost my best friend to see. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow. I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt a glow. The warmth inside me, it kept me afloat. It felt like heaven had found my bones. Gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me.
Yeah. Thank you, Emmy J, for sharing the live show.
Best friend to 23. I heard the heavens crying above me. They gained an angel, I lost a friend. I felt like dying again and again. I went through hell instead of death, but I keep fighting with each living breath. I saw no way out from where I stood. Felt like the fire had burned me from. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend.
Thank you, Wilmy Nation, for hitting that share button and letting everyone know Honors Radio is live. This party a rock. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we are live streaming on YouTube as well under Honors Radio. If you'd like to get a look at yours truly while you listen to yours truly's voice, by all means, go ahead and pop over to the YouTube app and go ahead and look up Honors Radio. We are live on YouTube as well. May have a little bit of buffering on our end here, but you should be pretty much a smooth ride. Let's do this. You are now tuned in to Honors Radio, the smoothest sounds on the airwaves, with your host, Dangerous Dante Smith, and our co-host, J. Let's work. Let's work. Let's work. Come on.
Just know that I'ma come back to you, baby. You gon' be by my side.
Oh, thank you again for tuning into Honors Radio on this wonderful Wednesday evening with your host, Dangerous Dante Smith, and our beautiful co-host, Emmy J. Well, we're serving up the nation's top news 3 days a week from Podbean Live. So do me a favor, go ahead, sit back and relax as we serve up the nation's top stories to keep you informed on your drive or simply relaxing at the crib. From our nation's top stories to our topic of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to cover it all. Remember, join me three days a week from Podbean Live. And don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Let everyone know from Podbean that Honors Radio is live. Now, our listeners now have the option to join the conversation through our website, honorsradio.com. Click the link and step right into the studio audience and join the conversation. Now, check out our new blog again. The new blog article posted once a week for us. Don't forget to check out last week's article. We do have another one posted. I believe it will be posted tomorrow. My apologies. But go ahead, while we wait, check out the one already posted entitled How to Improve Your Memory. That link will be available in the description for you. Again, welcome our co-host, Emmy J, to the studio audience. How are you doing today, Emmy J? Oh, wow.
I'm doing all right, working on this merch.
I can't hear you. It doesn't sound like we can hear you. Sounds like Emmy J's had a little bit of technical difficulties as she's trying to work out this merchandise here to get you guys that merch. Now, just a little bit of quick housekeeping for us. Just make sure that you subscribe and share Honors Radio on Podbean. Today is, of course, Wednesday, and we would love to hear your opinion and thoughts on the stories of today. Also on Podbean, on the Podbean app, bottom right, each listener can support and send Honors Radio a simple gift, which is virtual currency through the app. So when you hear this sound,
throw some beans down. Throw some beans down, baby. Throw some beans down.
do me a favor, go ahead and take that opportunity to go ahead and throw some beans down and support Honors Radio. All gifts are greatly appreciated as we continue to build Honors Radio and our platform. If you want to comment highlighted by our host, yours truly, go ahead and send a super chat, and you can actually find that at the bottom left of your app as well. I've also added a link to become a patron of Honors Radio. So head over to Patreon/Honors Radio to become a patron. Each patron will receive some free Honors Radio swag, and becoming a patron is more, ladies and gentlemen, than a donation, okay? It's a chance for you to view never before seen bloopers, behind the scenes shots, and videos. And soon, the Double D Sports Talk will be streamed through our patrons only section as well. So you got to be down with the patrons section in order to get that Double D Sports Talk. So become a patron today and support Honors Radio and its vision. Simply $5 gets you going. Now, we also have our merchandise available. As I said, Emmy J is currently, as we're speaking, working hard and making a lot of noise in the background as she's putting the merchandise together. We're going to be having mugs and t-shirts, sweatshirts, the whole nine, with our beautiful Boomer logo that we just got created by. Shout out to my cousin Zestway. Go ahead and check him out on Instagram. He is at Zestway, one of the greatest artists I've seen in a while. Very talented when it comes to the characters and very talented when it comes to art in general. So shout out to Zestway on Instagram. We appreciate you, bro. Now, we're also searching for small businesses looking to advertise their businesses with Honors Radio and our radio show, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any interest or know anyone that could be interested, please go ahead and send them our way. Our email is honorsradioshow@gmail.com. Go ahead and put attention advertising, and we'll get back to you within 24 hours. Well, enough is enough with all that housekeeping, and I know it always becomes so much, but we have to give you all the information so you have it, right? We don't want to keeping you lacking you of the information that you need to know what we're doing here at Honors Radio. Now, let's go ahead and get right down to it. Here's the national news for today. Minnesota Senate approved a set of police accountability measures early today that's part of a broader public safety budget. Now, the Senate voted with a 45-21 vote, followed by a 75-59 vote in the Minnesota House on Tuesday night. It now goes to Democratic Governor Tim Walz for his signature. Now, the bill contains limits on no-knock warrants and on the use of informants. Now, it will allow sign and release warrants, so the police aren't required to arrest low-level offenders just because they had a missed court appearance. Now, the approval follows on a police accountability package passed last summer that included a statewide ban on the use of chokeholds. Now, as we know, the way Minnesota is moving, I'm glad that they are at least trying something new. Times are rough in those parts, as they are in a lot of different parts, but more so in Minnesota, there's a lot of stuff that's going on out there, a lot of unjust things out there. So times are rough. So if they can find a way to improve this by passing this legislation, by all means. Now, the bill does also include a police misconduct database to create an early warning system to keep bad officers off the street, which is huge. I'm not sure what that early warning system will look like, but I can't wait to see what it looks like in the future when they do develop it, and what criteria they're going to be looking into as well. The creation of the Office of Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives, as well as Task Force for Missing and Murdered Black Women, will also be created as well. So they're trying to make strides in the state of Minnesota throughout all the turmoil that's been going on out there and all the complete missteps and horrific activities that have been going on by the police. It's good to know that they're at least seeing and trying to take accountability, some form or fashion, in order to alleviate these issues from happening. Now, in other national news, the New York City Commission on Human Rights has fined Fox News $1 million, the largest penalty in its history for violations of laws protecting against sexual harassment and job retaliation. As we know, they are bad over there as far as the sexual harassment is concerned. As part of the settlement agreement, Fox also agreed to mandate anti-harassment training for its New York-based staff and contributors, and to temporarily drop policy requiring people who allege misconduct to enter into a binding arbitration. Now, why they didn't have this in effect already, it blows my mind. Now, the penalty stems from an investigation that began actually in 2017, following several reports of what the commission called rampant abuse. Now, I'm sure we all remember the network chief, Roger Ailes, and former Fox personality Bill O'Reilly, which both lost their jobs over misconduct allegations. Now, several other women have come forward with lawsuits and their own harassment allegations, including former Fox anchor Megyn Kelly. Now, the $1 million fine groups 4 separate willful and wanton violations that each carried a maximum penalty of $250,000, which is probably just like a drop in the bucket for Fox News. But human rights officials said they hope the large penalty would deter bad behavior at any workplace. This is a drop in the bucket for Fox News, but I guess a slap on the hand goes a long way. Hopefully that they enact some kind of change or some kind of training, this anti-harassment training that they're saying they're going to have. Hopefully they enact it, and it actually helps the situation, because obviously it's pretty rough up there when at least 2 of your high-profile individuals or personalities, or even in the network chief, are being accused of misconduct. Now, in other national news, congressional leaders and a media advocacy group are urging the Federal Communications Commission to examine how policy decisions and programs have desperately harmed Black Americans and other communities of color. At least that's according to a letter sent on Tuesday by the acting FCC chair. In the letter shared with the Associated Press, Democratic Representative Jamal Bowman, New York, Yvette Clarke of New York, and Brenda Lawrence of Michigan said the FCC should conduct an assessment to address and redress the harm the agency's policies and programs have caused Black and brown communities, and identify the affirmative steps the agency commits to taking to break down barriers to just media and telecommunication practices. As we all know, the FCC is an independent governmental agency that is responsible for regulating the nation's communication by radio, television, wire, satellite, blah, 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 right? The lack of diversity and representation has long been a concern for media advocates. Now, who basically what they do is they're arguing that racism floods the nation's media industry, partly because of past exclusionary policies and regulations that have made it hard for Black Americans and others to control and shape news coverage. You wonder why you always see the horrific parts or the horrific things that happen in the Black communities or the brown communities. Well, you know why? Because we don't have control of those airways whatsoever. Now, lawmakers noted that nice. I like the merch. For your first shirt, that looks wonderful. Yeah. Now, lawmakers noted the nation's first radio and TV licenses were actually awarded by the Federal Radio Commission and then its successor, the FCC, during the era of Jim Crow segregation. So you see how long ago this was created. It's time to make some adjustments to it, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely time to make some adjustments. Now, we'll be right back with more Honors Radio after a word from Clear Pores Cleaning System and your host, Dangerous Dante Smith. There are some things in life you just learn to deal with. And some things in life, well, you just can't. Suffering the effects of acne is one of those things that no matter how you try to ignore it just doesn't ever go away. Unfortunately, many people see the blemishes before they see the real you. And even if you know they appear not to, you always end up feeling, well, some type of way. Well, luckily for you, the folks who have spent years researching and formulating the Clear Pores skin cleansing system really know what they are doing. And they put their money where their mouth is and fully guarantee their product. The Clear Pores skin cleansing system is a unique approach that not only works to clear up that acne and blemishes, but also works to eliminate them forever. Let's just imagine how your life will be once you no longer are embarrassed by the condition of your skin. It's time to stop relying on drugstore products that don't deliver what they promise and put your faith and effort into a company that stands behind their products and their claims to a clearer and healthier looking skin that is acne free. The Clear Pores Skin Cleansing System is a 3-part natural product that works from the inside on out. There really is no reason to suffer in silence with bad skin any longer. We have now found the treatment that you can trust. So hurry over to clearpores.com and use that promo code HONORSRADIO10 for your 10% off. And we're back with Honors Radio and your host, Dangerous Dante, and our co-host, our beautiful co-host, Emmy J.
I'm back. I'm done making merch for now.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, she has arrived. And just in the nick of time, ladies and gentlemen, free at last, is what Bill Cosby is saying tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The Pennsylvania High Court threw out Bill Cosby's sexual assault conviction and released him from prison today. The nice reversal of fortune for the comedian, who was once known as America's Dad and stepped into the sexual assault realm where everybody thought he was a deviant and everything else. Cosby, who's of course 83 years old, was shown throwing up the V for victory in his helicopter on his way out.
In a helicopter, right?
Now, what do you think about them releasing? Now, let me premise this question by saying this. The only reason why he was let go was basically on a technicality. I guess he had an agreement, a verbal agreement with the previous prosecutor, and the judge felt that they needed to honor that
Right.
agreement, although it was never written down. They had to agree. He felt that they needed to. There was an actual agreement, binding agreement, and they had to follow it. Now, what do you think about that technicality?
So yeah, we're not saying that he's not innocent. We're not saying he's guilty. We don't know. No one knows except him and the people involved. But at 83 years old, I don't see him being much of a threat being out.
Yeah.
I don't see him.
Yeah. Well, I I can say free bill. I agree. Will Venetia says free bill. I mean, because I never.
Bill is free.
You're right. I never seen any hard evidence, and basically everything that was done was so long ago that it makes it difficult to
Right,
to say he should be in there for. If he was in there for over 3 years, people.
Yeah, wow. See, it doesn't seem like it's been that long since all that controversy, but yeah, we don't know if he's guilty or innocent. But like I said, at 83, I don't think he's a threat to society, and he did contribute a lot to society with the things that he did. So maybe he can enjoy the rest of his life with his family, and will pay or not pay in the afterlife for what he did.
Right, and who's to say that there's not gonna be more charges that come out of the blue? There were so many that came out at one point. It was outrageous.
Yeah, it was like one after another after another.
It was outrageous.
20 years ago,
And some of those are bandwagon cases where they was
Right.
just like, let me try to jump on this and get some dough. But I can't, I shouldn't say that because some of those ladies might have been telling the truth.
Right.
Again, I don't know. But what I do know is that bill is free, ladies and gentlemen. Bill is free.
Your pudding pops up.
And I think this has a lot also to do with I think in most cases this particular agreement wouldn't have been accepted if it wasn't Bill Cosby or had Bill Cosby's money, maybe.
Right. Yeah. If it had just been any average Joe that was accused of that many assaults,
This agreement would have
they
never
would've
never
said,
come to
verbal
light.
Agreement. They would have said, well, there's
Never.
no proof. So.
I absolutely agree. It would have never come to light. Now, next up, ladies and gentlemen, we do have our topic of the day. So I'm very excited about this topic of the day. But before we get to it, just hang on just a couple moments. We do have to pay some bills, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with Honors Radio in your topic of the day and your host, Dangerous Dante Smith. BrainPill.com, the smart pill. Designed to help with boosting memory, increasing cognitive skills, and bettering that everyday brain focus. Brain Pill is a natural cognitive booster, a memory bullet for the brain. Formulated with high-impact natural ingredients that encourage better blood circulation in the brain and helps improve your short and long-term memory. Brain Pill is designed to help with mental alertness and fight memory loss and clear up that ungodly fog. It's time to be more productive. Tune out those distractions and boost that already beautiful brain of yours. So here is your chance. Run over to brainpill.com and use the promo code HonorsRadio10 for your immediate 10% off. And we are back with Honors Radio and your host, Dangerous Dante Smith. And yes, it is time for our topic of the day. And the question and topic of the day is simple. Why are you still communicating with your ex? And I want to get real juicy today. And should you even be in touch with your ex?
No.
Well, it just definitely does depend on the situation. And obviously there is a lot of different reasons why you would still be communicating with your ex. You have children. You're trying to hit. Maybe your friendship supersedes any relationship that perhaps you had at the time. Maybe you're using your ex as a backup plan for your current situation. There's a ton of reasons why you will be communicating with your ex. But we're going to step outside the box, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to talk about why you're communicating with your ex when you have children. Duh. We don't want to know that. We don't want to know if you guys have children together, because you know what? That's inevitable. You're going to have some kind of communication. And ladies and gentlemen, I think it's that time.
Throw some beans down. Throw some beans down, baby, throw some beans down.
And thank you, Emmy J, for throwing some beans down.
Now has a
And I
patron
always
section.
do that. I'm gonna get that down one day.
One day.
We appreciate you throwing those beans down, Emmy J. We do appreciate your support. Even as the co-host, we do appreciate you.
If you can't invest in yourself, how can you expect others to?
Absolutely agree. Now, my thoughts, quite simply. It is common for people to maintain contact with former romantic partners for several different reasons, as we discussed. Children, friendship, lust, love. Well, obviously, those are just the main ones. It's weird. It's a weird situation when you step into a new relationship. But if you know there is a value in the previous friendship, being upfront and honest about why and how this friendship will interact with your current relationship is of extreme importance. Now, a study was done by Psychology Today, surveyed 260 undergraduates who have been with their current partner for at least a month and had a previous relationship that lasted at least 3 months. These are very short relationships. They found that about 40% of students kept in touch with an ex. Now, I would venture to say that number decreases with the length and level of that relationship, i.e., long-term relationships, marriages, things like that. I'm not sure those type of relationships end in friendships because
Most of the time, those end in giant fights.
this is what I was thinking as well. Now, communicating usually begins within a couple of months of the breakup and continues to occur at least once every couple of months. Now, this study also suggests that just being in touch with an ex may not indicate anything about how happy you are with your current partner, but it could if that contact is frequent. So that's pretty interesting study that they did from Psychology Today. Now, as I said before, each person has their own reason or combination. I myself tend to feel it's a combination a lot of the times. As far as myself and my ex, yes, we do have children together. But besides that, I feel that we are friends at heart. Now, I haven't always been the best friend in the world. And I know if I was acting like a friend, if I was acting more like a friend back then, we would probably be better friends now. But that's neither here nor there. Having friends alone can be difficult in relationships, as we discussed last week or was it Monday? Maybe last week. Now, relationships, as we know, are complicated. Each relationship, no matter how happy or meant to be, comes with a unique set of challenges and setbacks. So friendship with an ex can be confusing and difficult. I say be fair to your current partner and have that discussion, and most importantly, know why you're staying friends and in communication with that person.
Right.
Now, if your relationship was healthy and blossomed from an existing friendship, there are conflicting opinions about remaining in contact.
Wait, what kind of friendships are we talking about? Are we talking like, hey, you're my best friend, or are we talking about like being like friendly?
I think we're talking about, well, the friend is going to be that you're in constant contact with, so you're assuming that you're probably having a conversation with this person at least a couple of times a week for it to be an actual a friend that's going to be conflicting with the
well, some people are crazy
right?
and they're jealous over anything. You could just say hello to somebody and they'll freak out.
That's very true as well. That's very true as well.
You'd
But
be like, I was at the store and I ran into my ex. She said hi, and that person, oh, what happened? And all it was a simple hello. Some people get jealous and freak out like that.
Very true. That is very true as well. And jealousy that's not a cute trait, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if we have any brave souls, the phone lines are, of course, open. Tell us why you are still communicating with your ex beyond having children together. Let us discuss, ladies and gentlemen. Let us discuss. Another question we do have to continue on is it okay to be friends with your ex while in a committed relationship or marriage? What do you think, Emmy J?
No. I'm just saying that.
Doesn't sound like a very thorough answer to me. We do have a call in. Let me go ahead and add him in. Looks like we lost them here. Let me go ahead and just invite them back to the studio audience.
By the way, I was just kidding when I said no.
You said no? You're just kidding.
Said okay. to be friends with your ex. I said no.
Okay, and what's your okay? And you said no, so is that a yes or no?
No, that's okay. Like it's okay. It just depends. Like as long as you're being respectful to your partner and you're not being sneaky about it, or
I think that's the main part. Yeah, being sneaky.
yeah, or if your ex, if something good happens to you and your ex is the first person that you want to tell, that's a little more than appropriate in my eyes.
I
Shouldn't
totally.
definitely not discussing your relationship issues with an ex, things like that. Or
Yeah, that can
set
get
boundaries.
very troubling,
Yeah.
and that can get very messy really quick. Boundaries is the key. That's a good point.
Right.
Good wording to use. Welcome, William and Aisha, to the live studio. What did you have for us today?
Yeah, we in the house.
We do appreciate you joining us today, sir. How you doing?
I'm all right. How you?
I'm hanging in there. And what did you have for us today?
Oh man, I was just listening to the topic of the day, and I was like, nah, it ain't never cool to be talking to your ex. I ain't spoken to none of mine since the last time I spoke to them. They can catch me in the wind with these deuces.
Now, is that because of your current partner, or because you just feel like morally you shouldn't be communicating with an ex?
Probably morally, you shouldn't be communicating with your ex, but you know, I'll be here and there, so occasionally I might run into one or two of them every now and then. But it's on very rare occasions I'm gonna run into any of my exes. But when I do, you know what I mean, throw it up, say what's up with it, and peace out. You know what I mean? Ain't much
Yeah.
more we should talk about. You know, I've been good, you've been all right, cool. I'm gonna see you later.
That is pretty much how it should go in order to stay out of the devil's way, because the devil will make his way into your life.
Right?
I just got a call the other day. Actually, I didn't get a
Wait.
call.
You didn't get a
Got
call.
a message out of nowhere. I'm like, man, don't the devil? Hey, devil, slow up,
I
slow
got
up.
the message.
I'm like, nah, you're gonna have to just let that one
They gonna
go.
slide in the DM.
I care too much about my sanity. I care too much about my sanity and my life right now. It's too good. Okay, my grass is green. I don't need you over here dirtying it up. Okay, but anyway, yeah. So we do. The devil does show up at the most inopportune times.
Right.
Right? Especially when they try to reach out to your current partner asking if I can get a hold of you.
Very strange. And so my thing is so you're saying it's never okay to be friends with an ex. Now, I happen to be friends with an ex, but again, we have extenuating circumstances to where we have children together. So that's
Yeah. If
outside.
you got kids together, it's a totally different situation. But if y'all just, you know, two candles in the wind, you know what I mean?
That was
There ain't
deep,
really
man.
much to speak about.
Two candles in the wind. I like it. I don't
Now,
know.
how would you feel if your current partner was said that they had run into an ex and maybe they just grabbed some coffee and caught up for a few minutes?
Now, if they talking about grabbing some coffee, we're gonna have a problems because what the hell y'all sitting down got to talk about some coffee? Now, if you seen them in the streets and y'all and you said what's up, he said what's up, how you doing, and all that, y'all, you know, keep it moving. But it ain't about to be no damn coffee dates. If that, I'll pop up at just local Starbucks and get to airing that thing out.
What you gonna fart? We airing it out.
I
Anyway,
prefer, I prefer peace.
nah, there is absolutely some exes that I just would not want to run into, just based off I don't want to see their faces. So
That's why I feel like sometimes I feel like they're those regular random exes are exes for a reason. Something didn't work out, something didn't vibe. Maybe it was the place you were in your life, but it's just not. What is it? It's like smoking a relit cigarette never tastes the same.
oh, don't smoke. That's disgusting. That's gross. You ever smoked a black and mild after you done burnt it?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh God, the worst smell and the worst taste. Make you use the bathroom.
That's what the exes do.
It's rough.
The exes are the worst smell and worst taste.
Absolutely, they already have a bitter taste from the past. Now, my answer is yes. The answer is simple. It's either it isn't a simple answer to it. It's either yes or no. You should think about your motives for wanting to maintain contact. If you're using an ex as a backup contact with the ex is likely to undermine your current relationship. And it's just some severely dishonest stuff that you're doing. I'm not sure how you're living that way. Now, other research have shown that reminders of your ex can keep you attached to that person and make it more difficult to get over them. Now, my next question, just to bubble off this a little bit, is now what effect does this have on the new love of your life? If you do have a friend that perhaps you don't have children together, but you guys had a great friendship, a strong friendship before you got into a relationship, and then you ended up breaking up, and you were amicable about it. You guys are still on great terms. You guys are still great friends. How does that fit in? How does that do you think that affects the new love of your life or your partner, your current partner? Do you think that would be a tough situation for that current partner to handle? And do you think there's ways that they can that situation can actually
I think the only time that in that situation would actually work is if it kind of became a we are friends thing. I don't know that it would be a comfortable situation to say, hey, that's my friend. We're going here and there. I'll see you later.
right? Right. That's a weird type of friendship right there.
Yeah.
I don't see that ever working because I just women are just too
Well, and then,
protective over
yeah.
what's
Well,
theirs.
not just women, but men too. But
And what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of.
I think it's where people always say like, well, that just depends on if you trust your partner, and that to a certain extent that's true. But at the same time, you just never know. There's so many deceptive people out there that
Absolutely.
sometimes it's hard to tell.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, these types of situations can cause, as we know, pain and psychological issues within the relationship. So I can absolutely see this being a negative experience for the partner. Even with forewarned discussions, it's just difficult for someone outside of a situation to put themselves in your shoes, especially when it hits so close. Somebody that you're in love with, somebody that you're sharing a life with, has a friend, a really close friend, an ex girlfriend that they're still having chuckle jokes and they're still vibing on their end of the spectrum, but you're not included in that joy. That could become a little worrisome. I could understand how that would be very scary for a person and
uncomfortable.
I'm very uncomfortable. Very
If you're
uncomfortable.
involved in a relationship, you should never be made to feel uncomfortable by your current partner communicating with their ex.
And that's definitely where jealousy will stem from.
Right.
You will definitely
You're
create
inviting it in.
Absolutely. Now,
Now, like me, I'm perfectly okay with the ex that you're friends with. I've met her. I think she's a nice person, very respectful. She's never just reaching out to you, like, and totally ignoring the fact that you're in a relationship. So I appreciate that. That's why I don't have an issue with or have any kind of feelings about you being friends with that ex.
yeah, because we're bound to have our chuckles. Lifelong friendship, so there's going to be some chuckles, there's going to be some laughs, there's going to be nothing disrespectful. There's never going to be anything disrespectful, but there's always going to be natural laughs and chuckles because
you guys
there's a natural and there was already a built friendship from that. So I've always made a point to be clear on that as well. That doesn't mean that I'm choosing any sides because you're my woman and that's my friend. So I know how to differentiate between the two, and I don't talk to my ex about personal stuff that happens with,
you
with
guys
us. That
don't
doesn't
really...
make any sense for me to ask for her opinion on anything that's going on in my personal or current situation.
You're not like chummy, like, hey, I go to you for everything and advice, and you
not.
communicate very well, especially when it comes to your children. You're very much, she very much includes you in things, and so you two, like, we confess to exes that have had a history.
Wasn't always like that, but so far so good, and that always was my fault, number one. So let me just say that out loud right now.
So when she listens to this later,
just in case she happens to pop on.
Right, keep that in mind. He just admitted.
I can always admit my fault. Now, do you think it's fair that you impose this type of friendship of your ex on the understanding of present significant others? So, do you think it's fair to impose this type of friendship on your current partner, or do you think you should probably just let that type of friendship go, just solely off the?
Well, a lot of it depends on how your current relationship is. I mean, if that person says, "Hey, this makes me uncomfortable," are you willing to let go of that friendship with an ex to maintain the relationship you have now? If you're saying, "No, I don't want to let go of my friend, my ex," then you need to reevaluate what's important to you in your current relationship.
And it totally seems like an ultimatum.
It kind of is in a way. It's
You know, well, yeah. I hate ultimatums, but I guess I can understand where in that situation where that conversation needs to be had, uh, especially depending on the complexities of your prior relationship or friendship. It can definitely get confusing, and you don't want to pass that on to your partner.
you're spoiled because I don't talk to any of my exes.
I, that's not my fault.
No, it's not your
although,
fault. You just don't have
although
to deal with
I don't
that.
play that friend game either. I don't do the friends and the phone calls and the messengers and the coffee. I don't do any of that. You shouldn't. I don't play that. That's some bullshit. But that's just me, and I'm a hypocrite like a motherfucker. So God, I'll be the first one to tell you. Like what? That's my friend. I only got one friend. That one access, and I don't have to argue that she's my friend. But yeah. Anyway, let's just move on.
Yeah, now that you're in the hot seat.
I'm never in the hot seat. My seat is always cool, calm, and collected.
Your balls are sweating.
They might just be. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we got our hemp honors news where we serve up the latest cannabis news from across the nation. We do appreciate you, William and Aisha, for joining us in the studio audience for our topic of the day. Join us again on Friday as we discuss more of the nation's top news. But bear with us just a moment. I'm going to let you go here, and we're going to continue on with the show. Not a problem, sir. We appreciate you. All right, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to go to a really quick break. But before we do that, uh, thank you so much for your support. We do appreciate every single one of you guys who come out and join us each and every night, 3 days a week from Podbean. We appreciate all the support. And when I say things like that, I want you to
Throw some beans down. Throw some beans down, baby. Throw some beans down.
And we'll be right back with more Honors Radio and your host, Dangerous Dante Smith. American Family Safety. Here in America, we help our neighbors, our friends, and of course, our families in the face of adversity. In recent years, it seems as though the challenges are confronting us more and more frequently. Hurricanes, floods, forest fires, tornadoes, and mudslides, terrorism, and even the threat of nuclear attack. Once these problems arise, it's often too late to take the precautions you need to keep your family safe. Fortunately, there is a family-owned company that has dedicated itself for 3 generations to sharing these needed values. American Family Safety offers emergency preparedness products and kits for the home, car, school, and office, including for those beautiful pets. This includes safety kits, first aid kits, emergency food, blankets, flashlights, and even water supplies. Everything a family would need to protect themselves in a disaster situation. The 72 emergency survival kits were built based on the recommendations of the Department of Homeland Security and FEMA and is fully customizable. In addition to these products, AFS also provides a library with updated articles, tips, and resource guides, which will help families deal with emergencies. It's the sort of thing everyone needs and can use, but doesn't think about even purchasing. Well, now here is the time to get your family prepared. Run over to AmericanFamilySafety.com and use the promo code HONORS10 for your 10% off of your emergency preparedness kit. That's right, it's hemp news time. Let's work! That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned into Hemp Honors, sponsored by Honors Radio, where we're serving up the nation's top cannabis news to give you what you need. Get you all the rules and regulations so you are prepared when you step into the outside world. So sit back, relax, and let's get this news.
I know I fucked up, baby, too many times, I can't lie. No. But you be on my mind all the time, baby, I just wanna ride.
And
On today's
yes,
Daily
roll.
Roundup Product Spotlight, Chill Extreme Delta.
Why do I always do that? I always do that. I'm not sure why I always push that, but you know.
For the bitch.
Anyway, now, Rhode Island lawmakers passed a bill on Tuesday that would establish facilities where people could test and use illegal drugs under medical supervision. Now, separately, the House panel weighed a measure that would legalize marijuana for adults in the state. First piece would launch a pilot program for safe consumption sites, which passed the full House of Representatives in a floor vote. Now, the Senate already passed a separate cannabis legalization measure on a 29-9 vote. Under the bill H6370, adults 21 and older could purchase and possess up to 1 ounce of marijuana in public. They should also grow up to 6 cannabis plants at home, with a maximum of 12 plants allowed in residences where more than one adult lives. Now, the Department of Business Regulations could initially license 15 recreational retailers, 5 which would be reserved for social equity applicants. In other cannabis news, a California Assembly committee on Tuesday approved a Senate bill to legalize possession of psychedelics. The Assembly Public Safety Committee advanced the legislation in a 5-3 vote. The SB 519, or Bill 519, would remove criminal penalties for possessing or sharing numerous psychedelics, such as mushrooms, DMT, LSD, MDMA, for adults 21 and older. For the full Senate approved the bill earlier this month and still has 2 more Assembly panel stops. Under the measure, the State Department of Public Health would be required to establish a working group to study and make recommendations regarding possible regulatory systems that California could adopt to promote safe and equitable access to certain substances in permitted legal contexts. These recommendations are due by January 1st of 2024. Now, unfortunately, the bill did remove record sealing and resentencing provisions for people previously convicted of psychedelic possessions and offenses. And the governor of Pennsylvania on Wednesday signed a medical marijuana legislation that extends the certain policies that were temporarily enacted during the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. Under the legislation, cannabis curbside deliveries will continue. Patients can obtain a 90-day rather than a 30-day supply for cannabis and there's a cap on the number of patients that a caregiver can serve. Governor Tom Wolf said in a press release, it's been 5 years since Pennsylvania legalized medical marijuana. That's been 5 years, and they still haven't. They still don't have recreational there. They're not going to get it now. And in that time, the department, they do have recreational there. My apologies. And in the time of Department of Health has examined the program's successes and challenges, and made important recommendations on improving the law. Now, HB Bill 1024 also keeps in place COVID-19 temporary policies that loosen the restrictions on criminal background checks for medical cannabis workers. And remember, Honors Radio now has a patrons-only section available for our loyal listeners who want to donate to Honors Radio to keep our operation running smoothly and the content running fresh and informative. Head over to patreon.com/Honors Radio and become a patron of Honors Radio, where we'll be housing not only the limited edition topics of the day, but also our sports talk will soon be added as well. And we'll also have a number of live sessions only our patrons can see. So you don't want to miss out on any of the behind the scenes, any of the bloopers. You don't want to miss out on any of those things. All new patrons will also be receiving special Honors Radio swag. Each and every one of our new patrons will be receiving something in the mail, especially from us here at Honors Radio. We do appreciate you again being loyal listeners of Honors Radio. Go ahead and make sure you are sharing and make sure you are following Honors Radio each and every day as that live link pops up on your screen. Take the time, click the link, and join the conversation. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for us here today. This has been an amazing Wednesday show. Real quick show, 55 minutes and we out. And you helped us serve up the nation's top news. And we've discussed some pretty great topics. I appreciate your contribution in throwing down those beans today, showing your support for Honors Radio. And again, that's going to be it for us today here at Honors Radio with your host, Dangerous Dante Smith, and I'm amazing co-host, Emmy J. We served up the nation's top news on Podbean Live as normal 3 days a week. Remember, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, follow, do all that wonderful stuff, and help us build Honors Radio from the ground up. And don't forget to check honorsradio.com for all the past shows, special updates, our blog articles that come out once a week. Check those out. And remember, we now have, again, our patrons only section, ladies and gentlemen, for our listeners who would like to become a part of the Honors Radio family. I mean, you're already listening, you're already enjoying the content. Go ahead and pop over to the patreon.com/Honors Radio and become a patron of Honors Radio for simply $5. Or you can go ahead and check out honorsradio.com/become a patron and go ahead and click that link, and voila, you have become a patron and a family and friend of Honors Radio. Each patron, of course, does receive that beautiful Honors Radio swag, as well as special access to other behind-the-scenes bloopers, live topics of the day, our sports wrap with double D's, and much, much more live content. To become a patron, again, just go ahead and click that Become a Patron button, and voila, you are now part of the Honors Radio family. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that share button. Let everybody know Honors Radio is live on Friday at 7:30 Central Standard Time as co-host Emmy J and I. We're going to join the studio and discuss more of the nation's top news. And we have our ever so popular topic of the day. Don't forget to share and subscribe to Honors Radio and have a blessed night. Ladies and gentlemen, and we are out. There are some things in life you just learn to deal with. And some things in life, well, you just can't. Suffering the effects of acne is one of those things that no matter how you try to ignore it, it just doesn't ever go away. Unfortunately, many people see the blemishes before they see the real you. And even if you know they appear not to, you always end up feeling, well, some type of way. Well, luckily for you, the folks who have spent years researching and formulating the Clear Pores skin cleansing system really know what they are doing. And they put their money where their mouth is and fully guarantee their product. The Clear Pores skin cleansing system is a unique approach that not only works to clear up that acne and blemishes, but also works to eliminate them forever. Let's just imagine how your life will be once you no longer are embarrassed by the condition of your skin. It's time to stop relying on drugstore products that don't deliver what they promise and put your faith and effort into a company that stands behind their products and their claims to a clearer and healthier looking skin that is acne free. The Clear Pores Skin Cleansing System is a 3-part natural product that works from the inside on out. There really is no reason to suffer in silence with bad skin any longer. We have now found the treatment that you can trust. So hurry over to clearpores.com and use that promo code HonorsRadio10 for your 10% off. And thank you again, everybody, for joining us, and you enjoy the rest of your night.